Welcome, everyone. This is Professor Smith bringing you another Hebrew study. In the book of Zephaniah, there is a prophecy that our Heavenly Father will restore to the earth a pure language. We understand that Hebrew is the closest derivation of that pure language. Let's explore it together. Shalom, and let's get started. Okay, we're going to pick it up here on exercise 5. Read and translate the following sentences. So let's take a look at this. Yomer Malak David. So Anne said, the messenger of David, Lo tichak kisei mimeni. Okay, so you will not take my seat or chair. So the Yomer has to be simply Amar. Okay, so that's the first one. And then Vayahi Be'et Hahi. And so let's take a look at what this is here for number 2. And it came to pass in that day 100 messengers ate all the meat in the tent, and then it's just Hayah. All right. So Vayahi Be'et. So it must be time, in time, Hahi Me'ah. So it'd be like it was 100 years. Or the it 100. And it's like time it 100. That's literally what that's saying. It's very hard to figure that out. It's like it's not in order like English is. Malak, aklu. Okay, so and then malak would be the messengers. Ate et kol habasar ba ohel. Okay, so they what did they eat? They ate all the meat in the tent, right? Okay, so we did this one. That was just Amar, and that's correct. And then, so this one, Vayahi, so it just goes to Hayah. That's what that should look like because we're changing this reversing Vav. Okay, let me see what it looks like here. Yeah, Hey Yod Hey, essentially. So it's like, in other words, that's how that changes because we are reversing. Whether we're changing it from future. Actually, it's not changing from future to past. Basically, it's just the form is changing. We're getting rid of the reversing Vav and bringing it back to its regular form. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back here. We're going to look at number 3 now. Let's see. Vahalak Yosef, and went Yosef. Let's see. Badar Ho. This looks like Badar Ho. And I think what that is on his way. So it's like it comes from derech in the road. On his way, Ra'ah and saw it Mizbach HaKodesh. Mizbach HaKodesh. I wonder if that has to do with it's like the altar, the holy altar. Let's see here. Ufatah et piv va'amar mazeh. What is this? I wonder if this is and opened. And then this peeve here. Let's take a look at the answer key and see what it says here. And Joseph will go on his way and will see the altar of holiness, and he will open his mouth and he will say, okay, so yeah, P is mouth. That's what that is. So so it's like P is his mouth. So this is for his. And ufatach is and open his mouth. Va'amar, and say ma'zeh. Okay, so what do they want us to do here? Um, And so it looks to me like because this has got a reversing verb on it, it's like and Joseph will go. I bet you that's what they're doing there. Let's see here. And Joseph will go on his way. Yeah. And so that's right. And Joseph will go. So let's see what it is they want on number three. And he will open his mouth and he will say, "What is this?" And they've got Yiftach and then also Yomer. Yomer. Okay, so that's right. So basically this the Bahalak changes to Yiftach. So and he will go. Okay. And then also it looks like I didn't even think of the open one. But this open one right here, Ufatak, that is another reversing Bob. So it changes to Yiftak. And remember, what does the Yod stand for? So what is happening here? Let's take a look at these are the two that we're going to change. Okay. So so let's see if we can get it. Let's get back up here. Okay, so basically, we need to change Yomar, and Yiftach. So basically, let's take a look at this one here. So this one changes to, wait a minute, wrong one. So that one doesn't change. Okay, I get that. This one doesn't change. But which one changes here? It's got to be this one here. These are the two that change. So this changes to Yomar. Yeah, Yomar. Okay, so then that Yod is goes with who. So he will say. And then this ufa ufatach changes to yiftach. Okay, so so then this becomes a signal letter of um trying to think here. Basically it equals he because it's in reference to Yosef. All right. So okay, so that makes sense. Let's take a look at this now. Number four. But na'amod, and this comes from amad, which means has to do with something to stand. And I think is because we've got this reversing vav here, then even though it looks like it's in the future, it's going to reverse to past, right? And we stood im upon Malkenu. Let's see here, Malkenu. Oh, and we stood with. I bet you that im is with our king, but na'avor. I wonder what this, and I bet you this has to do with, has to do with answering. And we answered, let's see, Gavul Leinu, Gavul Leinu, and then Banir A. This has to do with seen right here. And we saw, and we answered. Now, this one I got to look up. What did we see? Let's see, Artsenu. Okay, so this comes from Ratzah, which means in the tree of peace, in the tree of peace. So I wonder if this is, let's take a look at the answer key and see what we've got there. Okay, so and we stood with our king, we crossed over our border, and we saw our land in a time of peace. Okay, interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's right. This has to do with standing. We stood with Malking, our king, um, Na'avor. Now, this Na'avor is what's got me stumped here. I wonder if that's the border one. And we stood with our king and we crossed over. Okay, so that's got to be the crossing one. So look at that. And this might be the crossing one. Let's see. And we stood with our king, and we crossed over our border. Let's see here. And we saw our land in a time of peace. Okay, so Vana'amod im Malkenu, we stood with our king. Vana'avor, that's what I need to look up. Okay, so this definitely comes from um Avar, and we crossed Et Gevulenu. This has got to be the border. But near A, and we saw, what do we see? Artsenu. This is the question right here. Let's check this one. Okay, we figured this one out. This comes from Artset, Arets. That comes from land. Okay, so, and we saw our land, but ate shalom in a time of peace. Okay, so now the question is, what do they want us to change here? Let's see. Look at all these here that might have a reversing Bob. So it's like, how about a Modnu? I bet you it's going to change to a Modnu. So that's this one right here. How about this one? Let's see. Let's just check and see what they've got here. Okay, okay, so we stood with our king and we crossed over our border. We saw our land in a time of peace. And they've got Ra'inu. Ra'ini. So the only one that they chose here to pull out was the Ra'ah one. So that's a question that why would they not change this one? Why would they not change this one? That's a good question there. And why would they? Now this one doesn't have the connecting bob. These seem to have bobs on them. You see, they're only giving one answer. And so that's kind of curious on this book. And they've got Ra'inu. There it is right there. So this changes to, I think that's how they got it spelled. Let's double check that. There needs to be a yod in there. Okay. Yeah, so that's the only one that changes. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so let's see. I've got here this is kariti or karati, and this has to do with kara means to call. And so I wonder if this is I called La Abraham to Abraham, but eight Let's see. In time, I called Abraham. Hahi Bayaan. Okay, so oh, it's in the let's see the eight in other words, and it was time Bayaan Abraham Achare Cain. Okay, so I think this has to do with call, and I think it I called to Abraham, but eight Hahi and let's see. And the tree. Let's take a look at our answer key and see what we've got. Don't get too bogged down on stuff. Number 5, let's take a look at that. I called Abraham at that time, and Abraham answered. What did he say? And he answered afterwards. Okay, so that's basically this right here is um, where he's answering. So this is afterwards. And this has to do with answered. And so this is the that. Look at that. In time, the that. Those two right there. So it's like in the that, but in time. But eight ha he. So it's in at that time or in that time. And though this one has to do with the answering. Okay, so the question is, which one has the reversing vav and which one has to change? Well, the only one that has a vav is this one here. Vaya'an. So then we have to change this. And he answered to he will answer. So how was that going to be? Let's change to let's bring up the answer one. Okay, so Vaya'an, this changes to simply he answered. And that who's answering? Abraham is answering. All right. Vayiftak, and he opened Hamelech. Okay, so the king opened what? His mouth, Vayomer, and he spoke El to Me'at let's see, Ha'anashim. So it's got to be, I wonder if that Me'at is hundreds of people. Saviv, roundabout. He spoke to hundreds of people roundabout. Shalom. I think that's probably what that's saying. Saviv is roundabout. And the messenger opened his mouth and he said to the 100 people around, peace. Okay, so I thought that was a king, but it's not. It's Malak. It's not Melech. So you don't want to get those two confused. So it's just the messenger. But Yiftak and opened the messenger's mouth, and he opened his mouth, and he said, Yomer, El Me'at to 100 Anashim would be the people, Saviv, all around. And then what did he say to them? Shalom. All right, let's see here. And then so we got to figure out is it going to be this one? Is it going to be both the open and the speaking one that's got to change? So if it's just a messenger, if this gets changed, then it just becomes Amar. Because that's, and he spoke, right? And then this changes to Patach. Just these three right here. Okay, so basically that's all they want us to do is change those because we got the reversing vav here, reversing vav here. Now let's check and see if Amar and Patach are the right answers for that. And that is number 6. Okay, so the messenger opened his mouth and he said to the 100 people around, peace, patak, and amar. That's right. All right, so I'm starting to get the hang of this. I hope you guys are too. Okay, vayahi bashana, and it was in the year, in that year, hahi. So it's like bashana hahi, that year. Vaya amdu, and this is and we stood, and it was in that year that we stood, and we stood me'ah avot. That must be 100 fathers. 100 fathers stood ha'am in the land, lifnei in front of hamizbeach, which would be the altar, in front of the altar. Vayashu, but I think this has to do with answering, maybe. No, this has to do with and we did. And we did. Let's see. Behemat Zahav. Now that Zahav, I think, has to do with gold. So this right here, we got to figure what this is. Behemet, Behemat. So let's look at the answer key and we'll just figure it out. Okay, so, and it says here, and it came to pass in that year 100 fathers of the people stood before the altar and made an animal of gold. Uh-oh, that sounds like a golden calf, doesn't it? So it must be the animal is this one right here. It comes from Bahama, animal. And Zahav has to do with gold. So, and this comes from asa, which means making or doing. So it's vaya asu. Okay, and then has mizbeach is the altar, and then lifnei is in front of. Ha'am would be the people. So it's like a me'at avot ha'am would be like 100 elders or 100 yeah, fathers of the people, 100 fathers of the people. So it looks like they made a golden calf, right? So the question is, where are so is it this one here? Is that the one that's got the reversing vav on it? This one looks like it's got a vav on it. This is a candidate. And then this is a candidate. So, so if so this one here would just be a changing that back to past tense, right? And then this one right here would be a mod. Okay, changing that back to past tense. How about this one right here? This has to do with asa, which is making or doing, right? So let's see which of these they've got on their answer key, because those are all possibilities because we've got these vowels in front of them. And the question is, which ones are the reversing vowels? Okay, yeah, so they got all three of them there. And actually, it's not in singular masculine, it's in multiples. So it's going to be, right, it's going to be, instead of asa, it's going to be asu. So it's gotta equal the we one, because what are we talking about? We're talking about 100 fathers of the land, right? So that's a we thing. It's more than one. So then this asa has got to be asu. So that's this one here, and then but Yahweh. So it's got to be Yahoo. I bet you Yahoo. So that's the one that goes with this one. And then, and this Ahmad one here, it's going to be Amdu. And then there's a Shurik there, Amdu. So it's like we stood. So that's essentially what they're wanting us to do there. It's wanting us to convert these things to get more familiar with the language. All right, so that's it on that. Let's see here. What we need is rewrite the sentences below, replacing the highlighted word with each word in the list that follows. Read the sentences aloud. Okay, and then translate. What we need to do here is change this. Okay, so now basically what they want us to do is get this. Oy vey. I think we're on this one here, if I remember correctly. We just did this one right here. So it's rewrite the sentences below, replace the highlighted word with each word in the list, with each word in the list that follows. Read the sentences aloud and translate it. Okay, so we have to replace this. Okay, so there's got to be a list. Okay, all right, so yeah, okay, so yeah, this will be a little easier. This will be a little easier because we just did this one. All right, and let's highlight this so we know what we're doing, where we're at. Okay, so then we've got Vayomer, and he said, and Yosef said, El Benai Yisrael, he said to the children of Israel, Eshma. So this has to do with you will listen. What are you going to listen? Kolechem, to all. Now these, it's almost like Kolechem is like all of them. I think it chem comes from it has to do with I think it's they, them. Va'anti etchem. Okay, so kolchem va'anti etchem. Now let's take a look at what the answer key says on there. And Joseph said to the children, I will hear your voice and I will answer you. Okay, so that's interesting. So it's an I. That's right, it comes from ani. I will hear et kolchem, your voice. So that has to do with atem, them, they, all of you, you all your voice. Va'anti, and I will answer you. Let's see. I will hear your voice and I will answer you. That's right. All right, so they want us to change this one then. So this has got to change to the singular. So I wonder if it's I don't think it's that. Yishma'u, I'm not sure it's that one. Yishma. So rewrite the sentence, highlight with each word on the list follows, read the, okay, rewrite the sentence below. Okay, so we have to rewrite them. He, Tishma. Oh, I see. They want us to do each of these. I see what they're doing now. Okay, so basically we have to take this and change this in there. So Nishma, then this becomes Ishma. This is Ishma now. That gets knocked out, and we have to put this one in there now. And then we have to redo the sentences to match the gender and number, right? So, okay, so Vayomer Yosef, and Joseph will say, El Benai Yisrael. Okay, so what if we put Nishma? And we will answer, Et Kolachem, all of you, Va'anti Etchem, and we will answer all of you, and Joseph said to the children of Israel, I will hear your voice and I will answer you. Okay, so this has to do with Shema. So this is now, instead of I will answer, it is we will answer. We will answer all of you and answer all of you. So let's take a look at the answer key and see what they're doing there just to get an idea. Okay, so here is what they've got here. Vayomer Yosef el Benai Yisrael. So, and Joseph said to the children of Israel, Nishma, we will hear. Et kolchem ve'aninu, and we will answer all of you. Or rather, we will hear your voice and we will answer you, etchem. That's what this is. Okay, so all of you, we're going to listen to all of you. So I'm not seeing anything that changes there personally. Vayomer, and Joseph answered the children of Israel. But that almost doesn't make sense, because if it's just Joseph, why is he saying we? All right, let's take a look at the next one here. The next one is Vayomer Yosef el Benai Yisrael, and then Yishmeu. Looks like, and we will listen. What are we going to listen to? Kolhem, all of your voices. Va'anu etchem, and we will answer you all. Etchem, we will answer you. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then Vayomer, and so this one here, let's double check. I'm gonna double check something here, guys. Okay, so this one here is Yishma. So all of this has to do with listening. We've got Yishma, we've got Tishma. Yishmeu has to do with we will listen. He, Tishma, she will listen. She will listen, and then Yishma. So what are they? Let's see what they're doing here. Let's just go to the Tishma one and see what they're doing with that one. Okay. Yomer Yosef el Benai Yisrael. Okay, so and Joseph said, El Benai Yisrael said to the children of Israel, Yishma'u, um, okay, so basically this we're just gonna try to look and see what we can decipher here, and then we'll just go on to the next one, because I don't want to get too bogged down here. Let's go on to this one here. We've got Vaya Amod. This has to do with Amod, standing. Hamalak. So it's like the messenger is standing, Sham there, by Yiftach, and he is opening what? His mouth, by Yomer, to speak. Let's see, Devrei Kodesh. These would be like holy words. Alehem, to speak holy words to all of them. Kodesh. I think that's what that is. So this vaya amod. This comes from amod. So then, what happens if we put amadti? So if you put amadti in there, it's basically I stood. Let's see, hamalak. So why would you have hamalak in there? It would just be I stood sham. We don't even need hamalak in there anymore. But so let's take a look at what the answer key says. Yeah, amadti. I stood sham. Okay, there. But eftak, and opened at my mouth, and opened But Eftak, I think this basically is in the future tense, but the reversing vav is changing this. So it's like, and opened a mouth, and opened a mouth to speak. Divrei Kodesh Elohim, speak to them. Speak to them. Elehem would be speak to them. Well, it'd be like speak. I wonder if this comes from Allah. Speak up to them. Speaking up to them. Okay, so what about this other one? Do. Okay, so that would change this then. And we spoke. Sham, we spoke there. Let's see what the answer key is. Let's see, do. Achi. They're just making stuff up here now. You could put anything in here. Achi root. So it's like the brother of Root and stood. Ache. Root Sham. So Root, I think, is probably a proper name there. Yiftahu. And what are they? Pachem vayomeru divrei. Okay, so they're not giving us a an English translation here, so it's hard to figure this out. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to X this out. We're going to X this out. This entire exercise. I'm not liking it. Because what we need is not only do we need the Hebrew changes, but we need the translation. All right, so let's see what we can pick up down here. Read and translate the first sentence, then fill in the preposition with its endings and translate. Preposition with its ending. Okay, so Vayoshev David babayit. Okay. So and sat David in the house. Okay, so and sat David in the house. Yashab David. Okay, so David sat. David will sit. Bo. Oh, in it. Okay. In it. Okay, Yashab David Bo. All right, so let's see what this one is. Vayomer Moshe, and Moses said, El B'nai Yisrael. He said to the children of Israel, Zot HaTorah, this is the Torah. Amar Moshe, and spoke Moses what? What did he speak? Fill in the preposition with its ending and translate. Okay, so, and David spoke. Vayomer, let's see, Vayomer Moshe El B'nai Yisrael. Moses said to the children of Israel, Zot HaTorah, this is the Torah. And so Amar Moshe, okay, spoke Moses what? I bet you it's to them. I wonder if it's etchem. Let's see what they've got on the answer key. And Moses said to the children of Israel, this is the law. Okay, so Alehem. Yeah, Alehem, to them. Up to them. Because it comes from Allah, up to them. So it's not etchem, it's Alehem, up to them. All right, let's see here. Haya ben Bali. Okay, so there was Bali HaKodesh. See, there was in my heart, in my holy heart, let's see, about Mizbeach, about the altar, on the altar. I gotta look up what this Bali is. For me. It was for me, holiness about the altar. There was for me, maybe there was to me, holiness about the altar. Vayehi, and to be to me, Hakodesh. Let's see, take a look at that. There was a vessel of holiness. Okay, so that's what that beli is, vessel. And it's a leave in it. So it's like yeah, this is the vessel. So basically, that is what needs to be changed to the preposition in it. Fill in the preposition with its ending. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Vayamad. This and I think this is and he stood. Adam and Adam stood. Lifnei in front of Sharei Hakodesh. Let's see. Sharei Hakodesh. Amad. Okay, so and stood Ha'adam. I wonder if it's it. If it's Ale. I wonder if it's a leave again. Let's find out what it is. And the man stood in front of the gates of holiness. Lifnehem. The man stood in front of the gates of holiness. Okay, Lifnehem. So, Haya Bali Hakodesh Al Mizbeach. This would be the altar one. Yeah, and so Adam is not a proper name. It's just a man. Look at that. The man. Wow. Isn't that something? So this is just the man. Okay, but yeah, Amod, and stood the man, Libnei, in front of. We've got Sha'ari Hakodesh. I want to look at that for a minute here. And the man stood in front of the gates of holiness. So that's what that is. This has to do with gates. Hakodesh. So gates of holiness. All right. So then Ahmad so stood the man. So what are they putting there? Let's see. Lifnehem, in front of them, which would be the gates of holiness. Lifnehem. Okay, I think I'm starting to see what they're doing here. This is what they're taking this here, and then they want this to be changed to something. So if it's the gates of holiness, it has to be in reference to them, right? So this is how we get Lifnehem. All right. Okay, so Vayatsanu. Looks like Vayatsanu. So then we got to figure out what this Yatsa is. Min Hadmidbar. Well, let me double check this. Okay, so this has to do with going out. Yatsanu. And we went out. And we will go out. Min Hamidbar, from the desert. Ahmad Nu. This has to do with standing. And we will stand Acharei, after Keharim. This looks like Acharei. And we are standing after Heharim, which would be this Har means mountain. So but it doesn't make much sense, does it? So let's see what they've got for number 4. And we will go out from the desert and we will stand behind the mountains. It's not after, it's behind the mountains. Look at that. Achare comes from, it has to do with behind the mountains. All right. So we've got Netse. Let's see. And we went out blank. Va'az na'amod. I bet you it's this one. Alihim. I bet you this is going to be Alihim. Let's see if that's right. I start to get the hang of this. So that this one here, the second one, I'm not sure of. So let's just go to the answer key. Okay, so and we will go out from the desert, we will stand behind the mountains. Okay, so they're using Achorehem. Okay, so that's behind them. Okay, so that's right. It's not saying up to them, it is behind them. And then Mimenu. Look at this right here. From Mimenu. So that's what they want here. Va'az na'amod, and we will stand Mimenu, from behind them. From them. All right. Goodness. It's a mind twister. Bekol Shana, so in all the year, see, in every year, Hu Anah, so, and he answered et Ha'aviv to his father, but Divrei Shalom. Oh, okay, so in every year, he answered his father in peace. I think that's what that's saying. Let's try this one. And every year he answered his father in words of peace. Yeah, okay, I got that pretty close, didn't I? Okay, so then Vaya'an, and he answered. I bet you it's going to be it's referencing to his father. So I wonder if it's Avo. I wonder if it's Avo. Vaya'an, and he will answer his father, Vayomer, and say, Devrei Shalom, and he will speak words of peace. So let's see if I got that one right. Avo. Oh, let's see here. No, let's see here. Every year. Okay, so oh, it's Oto. Look at that. And he answered him. And he answered him. And he said words of peace. So yeah, Oto is just him. All right, so we're just working with the language. You're gonna get things wrong more than right when you're practicing this stuff. And so, but the answer key helps you a lot, doesn't it? Let's keep working with it, bumbling through it, stumbling and bumbling, and eventually we'll get better. All right, so Bekal Shana Hu Anah. See, looks like we're missing one here. Vayara. So I wonder if Ki Hahayim. Okay, wait a minute here. What is this here? And he saw that the life was good with sons. And he saw that the life was good with sons. That's what's being said here. Now this comes from Ra'ah. And he saw Ki that Hahayim. This would be the life. Tovim is good. Im Banaim. Okay, so with sons. Okay, so Hu Ra'ah, he saw Ki that Hahayim life was good. I bet you it's with them. And he saw that Chaim, life was good with sons. And he saw that, Hu ra'a ki ha'chayim batovim, that life was good. And we need to say with them. So I wonder if it's emo. I wonder if it's emo. Now this has got one, two, three, four. So I wonder if it's Oto. But I think it's no, I think it's going to be in with or on, so it's going to be a bet maybe. It's not going to be that. It's going to be I wonder if it's Otem, something like that, with them. The life was good with them. I wonder if there's going to be a bet there. Let's check our answer key and see what they've got. Oh dear. No, it's E. Let's see. And he saw that life was good with sons. And so they've got look at this here. Imam. He saw that life was good with them. Ah, ah. Okay, folks, we are going to continue on. We're going to finish up this last section of the reversing Vav that is in this biblical Hebrew text. And the last one, I should note, I failed to hit the record on the last part of the Cinderella story. So basically what I'm going to do is just fuse this video with what I did get recorded on that. And then if you guys want to go through that material yourself, you'll have to get the book. But I think there's enough. I think there's enough for you guys there to be able to give you guys a pretty good idea about what's going on. So we're going to look at some of these quotes from the Bible, and these are just translation stuff, so we can improve our vocabulary. And so it says translate and enjoy. The vocabulary words are introduced in the order in which they appear. So we've got this word here, or light. Let's get our annotation up here. Okay, so remember it's right to left, or looks at this one right here, Vayavdil. And then we have Hoshek, which is darkness, Erev, which is evening, Boker, which is morning. Okay, and then we've got some other ones down here, Natan, which is Nathan, Bat Sheva. Let's see here, Shlomo rather, Shlomo. Notice the superlinear Olem. Let's see here, Holo, or no, it's Halo or Hala. No, that's wrong here. Looks like hello or hello, have not. Isn't that something? It's using a reduced patach. Okay, sir. Adonaihu. Adonaiyahu. Looks like Adonaiyahu. Yep. Okay. And we've got this here. Let's see here. We've got Hagit, which is a woman's name. Okay, so we have Hagit, then we have Levi, Uvo. It looks like Uvoi, go and come. Look at that, Levi. No, it looks like Lechi, Uvoi. Because you've got the shirk, so that's a U sound. Then you've got this holem, superlinear holem. So you got the U and then the vo, and then underneath the aleph, you have a hirakiod combination, which is like a long E, uvoi. And then so we have lechi, and this is chachaf. So we have lechi uvoi. But this here, nish bata, nishbata, you did swear to your maidservant, la amatka, la amatka. Let's see here, looks like madua, madua, why? Okay, so this is just basic translation stuff, looks like. Okay, so Vayomer Elohim Yahi, let's see, and spoke Elohim Yahi or. There was light, Vayahi or. Okay, so basically we have and spoke Elohim, there was light, and there was light. Got or and or. He said, basically he says, let there be light. This Yahi could be, in this case, there light, and then and there was light. So it's basically, sort of a literal translation there. All right, so how about this one? Vayareh Elohim. I wonder what that Yareh is. I might have to look that up. Okay, so that has to do with seeing. I had to look that up for a minute. And so let's get rid of our all the scribbles here. Okay, so and he saw Elohim, and Elohim saw it, or he saw the light. He tov, it was good. Let's see, Vayav, let's see, Vayav Dale. Okay, so I wonder what this is. And Vayav Dale, Elohim. That one's an interesting one too, Vayav Dale. Let's see if it's down in our list here. If not, I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up. Okay, so that basically the Yavdale has to do with and will differ. So, and differed Elohim bain between Ha'or uvein Ha'hoshek. So basically he's saying he put difference between light and darkness. So you remember bain means in between, and then Ha'or is the light, and then uvein is base and in between Ha'hoshek, which would be darkness, right? All right, so let's go to this one here. Vayichra, which is and he called. This is Elohim called this. Laor yom. So he called the light. Leor is to light day. V'lahushech, and to the night. Kara. Let's see here. Kara Lila. I think that Kara means and he called Lila, which is nighttime. Vayahi, and there was Erev, there was evening. Vayahi, and there was Bocher, morning. Yom Echad. So that's basically a whole day of light and dark, right? Whole day. Well, that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. All right, so let's go down here to 1 Kings and take a look at this one. Vayomer, and said Natan, Il bat Sheba, to Bathsheba, Aim Shalome, let's see here, Shalomo. Okay, so Aim Shalomo. Let's see here. I think this is okay, so this aim is if Shalomo, Solomon, Leomer says, Holek, let's see here. Let's see, Halo. We saw that Halo somewhere, didn't we? There it is. Have not is Halo, right? So have not, and says have not Shama'at. See, have you not heard? Ki Melech. Let's see, have you not heard? Which the king Adonai Adonia, and it looks like Adonihu. So it's like the king, my lord, Ben is the son of Hagit, who Adoniah, Nenu. Let's see here. I think I will be the son. Let's see. I am the son of Hagit, U Adonenu, and Lord David lo Yada. And let's see here. I think it says, and the Lord does not know. So I think what we need to do here is bring up Bible Hub and then just see kind of get an idea what we're missing here. Okay, so here it is in Hebrew, and he said, "Vayomer Natan el Bathsheba." Okay, we need this actually in the go to parallel Hebrew. Let's go to that. Okay, and Bathsheba. What we need is boy, this is changing it to English, isn't it? We need this to stay Hebrew. We've got a problem there. All right. Okay, so here it is right here. Vayomer Natan. Then Nathan spoke El Bathsheba to Bathsheba. If and it looks like now this is not if. I was looking up that aim and thinking if something, but it's aim Shloma, which is the mother of Solomon. Okay. Leomer, and she said, let's see, Hola, hast not thou shamat heard that or which? Key is that or which? Key Melech Adonihu, that which oh, this is a proper name. Adonijah, Adonihu. So it's King. She's actually referring to him as King Adonihu. Ben Hagit, Adonenu. So look at this one. It's just like raining over, rains over, and rain. David lo yada. David does not know. Check that out. So that's what's going on here. But David lo yada. Okay, so this is a situation where Solomon is uh, set to be king according to the word of David, but it looks like Adonihu or Adonijah, as it's in your English Bible, didn't go along with that. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more of this then. Okay, so Levi, let's see, let's see, my heart, Uvi, El Hamelech David. Let's see, this one here. Let's switch it. Let's switch it over so we can get a better idea without spending too much time. Okay, so let's see where it's at here. That's not where it's going, is it? So we got to figure out what in the world this is here. I wonder if it's First Kings 1:13. I bet you that's what that is. Okay, yeah, Levi Ubihi, go and get. So it's basically go. So this Lechi comes from halak, maybe. Uvo, so this bo means get. Okay, I get that. El Hamelech David, so let's go to King David. Va'amart, that has to do with saying. Looks like Elib, go up. Wait a minute here. Let's see. I wonder if that has to do with Asa. No, it's not Asa. Eliv, Holek, Ata. This Holek looks like okay, let's see here. Adonai Hamelech. We say, go and say unto him, did you not, my lord, O king, swear unto thy handmaid? Let's see, Hamelech Nish Bata La Amatka. Okay, so and this is Le Omer. That means saying Ki Shlomo, which means unto Benek Melech Acharei. And yeah, this the after one right here is Acharei. I know I recognize that one. Vahu Yoshev, and he sat all Kisei, and he sat upon the throne. In other words, thy son shall sit upon the throne, right? Umadua Melech, and why King Adoniyahu, and why does Adoniah reign? Madua Malak Adoniah, and why reigneth Adoniah? That's probably what that is. And why reigns Adoniah? It's probably. I tell you, it's still a lot to go to get that deciphered. But it's kind of fun to look at those. Okay, so that's what this is right here. Basically, it's where Bathsheba is saying to David, what happened? All right, so here's the Book of Ruth guided reading. But Nashab Naomi, okay, and so this Tashav has to do with returning, because Yashav means it comes from Shuv, which means to come back. Varut ha Moavia Ima. Okay, so and let's see, Ima was with her. Moavia Ima. And that looks like Batushba, and she returned, and there's Moavia, which is Moabite. All right. And then we say Hema Holehu, which would be this has to do with them or they. They Holhu, which means they together went. El Beit Lechem, to Bethlehem. Beit Hakatzir. This has to do with to the harvest. All right. Ula Naomi, and for Naomi, Moda La Isha, and there was a kinsman. Look at that. Moda is like the kinsman one. Isn't that something? La Isha, to her. Yeah, to her husband. This Ish would be her husband, and the hay with the peak would be in other words, it would determine that it's hers. Okay, Ish Gadol. So that's to be a great man. Mimish Pachat. This would be the family, I think. Mishpachat. Eli Melech. Okay, Eli Melech. Ushmo. Let's see, Boaz. And in other words, and his name was Boaz. Elishmelech is that's the name, and then Boaz. Okay, so but Tomer Ruth. So and said Ruth, ha Moavia il Naomi. So basically, she is Tomer. This is Amar, which means says Ruth. The Moabitess el Naomi. She says to Naomi. Elek el Hasadeh. Now, this Sadeh is the field. I know that. So Elek has to go from, it has to do with halak. I will go to Hasadeh, the field. Va'alekta, bakatzir. Okay, so this va'alekta is gleaning. I will glean bakazir, the harvest. Okay, and let's see. Vatomer, and said Naomi, to you, telki bati. Let's see here. This tav is you go. BT would be my daughter. You go, my daughter. Vatelek and went root el Sede. This is the field. This the Sede would be like multiple. Look at that. It's almost, uh, so because it's connected, it's a noun pair, it abbreviates. So this would actually be Sedayim. But because it's a noun pair, it's Sede Boaz. Okay, Asher Mimish Pakat Elimelech, Elimelech. Okay, so this is basically the fields of Boaz that Mishpakat, the family of Elimelech, which would be okay. So all right, that's kind of getting immersing us now, sort of, isn't it? All right, so that's basically what this is down here. They just broke it up for us. I kind of wish they'd have done that here. Because the purpose is just to learn, that's the whole idea. Okay, so now we have the participle. This is oral review. I don't want to do that oral review. Let's just get into the new material. All right, so vocabulary. A stone is a even or avadim. Even or avadim. So we have stone or stones. So we've got even and avanim, and then even, which would be a noun pair, and avnai, which would be a noun pair plural. Okay. Aharon, which is Aaron. Here is another verb root. Okay, whenever you see this, basically you see these three letters, it's going to mean something to do with building. Look at this, goy or goyim, which would be a people or a nation. So these would be like non-covenant people nations. Now here's another one, Yod Resh Dalet, which means to go down or descend. Ka'asher, which is like as or like when or when. All right, Mahakna. This is camp, Mahakna. Mahaknot, which would be camps. Mahakne, which would be singular. Mahaknot, singular. Shota has to do with drinking. Let's see. Mate, matot. This has to do with tribe. Look at that. Mate or matot be tribes. This would be tribes. Mate, noun, a noun pair singular. Matot would be a noun pair plural. Okay. Let's do this one here. Ma'aseh, which is a deed. Oh my gosh, look at that. That goes along with some of those things the rabbis talked about. The ma'aseh are the good deeds. Yeah. Okay, so ma'asim, there's your ma'asim. There's ma'aseh and ma'aseh noun pair. Okay, so then we have this give, nun, tav, nun safit, give, set, and then we have zadik, righteous, zidikah, righteousness, zadikim, righteousness, zadikot, okay? And then Rivka is Rebecca, Ragel, or Raglanim. So this has to do with foot. So Ragalim would be feet. Ragel would be the singular noun pair. Ragle would be the plural noun pair. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, so now we've got the verbs nata and shota. All right, follow the same pattern as other verb endings in hey. Their exact spellings can be found in the verb spelling charts on page 370 to 373. Speaking of that, I want to get those out. So, okay, so we found the chart that goes with that. And it's important to have these charts. We just kicked up out of it. All right, so okay, so we're looking for Bana and Shata. Okay, so here's Bana. I'm gonna mark that one as so these are basically all the forms of Bana. Then we need to go down to Shata, if it'll allow me to go down. My computer is laboring here. There it is right there. All right. Okay, so now that we've got the chart, we can continue on. The verb yarad. The verb yarad follows the same pattern as the verb yashav. Its exact spelling can be found in the verb spelling chart on pages 370 and 373. Okay, so we've got those. The word mata also means staff or rod. Looks like mate. To avoid confusion, only the meaning tribe will be used in this book. Interesting. But that kind of go along with it because usually the leader of a tribe would have a staff or a rod, right? Interesting. The verb natan is very irregular. It will be shown later in this chapter. The word Zadik appears in the Bible only as after its masculine forms. We were taking the liberty of using the feminine form as well. Okay, so now we're going to the participle. Let's see. In Hebrew, a participle is a form of a verb that can be used as an adjective, a noun, or a verb. Unlike the other verbs we've been taught, participles do not have separate forms for the first, second, and third person. Participles indicate number and gender only. Let's see here. There are two kinds of participles, the active participle and the passive participle. Both are introduced in this chapter. Some verb roots in the Bible have no participle forms. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these. The active participle, the distinguishing feature of an active participle is the holem, or the vowel holem between the first and second root letters. Participles may be spelled with or without a vav. Both spellings are pronounced the same. Okay, so we've got shomer. Okay, so that has to do with to guard, right? And here we have shomer again. So this is masculine. Okay, I see, shomer. And then singular feminine, we've got shomeret or shomeret. Notice that the difference between these two is sometimes that vav is used as part of the vowel, but sometimes it gets knocked out so that it's just the superlinear dot, which tells you that that is a holem, which is the O class. And then it uses segol, 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 segol. This uses saray, saray. Okay, you see the two dots that are sort of lined up? That's called a saray. It's AY sound. Shomerim has to do with, this is what's called a hataf hirik, which is a reduced hirik. Okay, so then we have shomerim, which is the same. Then we have, let's see here, we've got shomerot, which is feminine plural, and shomrot, feminine plural. Okay.